What function does estrogen serve? In men, estrogen is estrone and estradiol is created by the transformation of testosterone into the compound aromatase. Estradiol has a more grounded fondness for estrogen receptors and is an isoform utilized in clinical practice. The impacts of estrogens on perception and mindset have been indisputable. Without a doubt, estrogen receptors are thickly moved in the designs of the mind that control mental and profound capabilities. These incorporate subcortical areas like the hippocampus meaning memory and amygdala meaning feeling, as well as a few cortical districts engaged with higher request working. Estrogens balance synapses liable for mental and profound cycles. For instance, estrogens decrease aversion to dopamine receptors and increment the thickness of D2 receptors in the striatum of overactimized rodents, and essentially increment serotonergic neurotransmission. Estrogens seem to defensively affect neurodegenerative issues portrayed by major mental dysfunctions, including Parkinson's illness and Alzheimer's infection. What estrogen level should a man have? The typical estrogen level that a man ought to have relies upon his age and clinical history. A completely developed male typically has an estradiol level of 10-40 picograms per milliliter and an estrone level of 10-50 pg/ml. Albeit the male body needs estrogen to work appropriately, high estrogen levels can cause medical issues like gynecomastia, erectile brokenness, or barrenness. Where is estrogen produced in men, and what are its functions? The key compound that makes estrogen in men is the aromatase catalyst. This compound divides testosterone to estradiol, changing one of the 4 cycloalkane rings completely to a fragrant ring. Aromatase has been found in male cerebrum tissue, testicles, fat tissue, veins, and skin. Likewise, numerous cells of the male body have estrogen receptors, and that implies that the female chemical carries out specific roles and doesn't show up as a basic side effect or middle-of-the-road result of biochemical responses. Estradiol assumes a significant part in early life for the two genders. The SRY quality, situated on the Y chromosome of guys, is liable for deciding the sex of the incipient organism. This quality encodes an exceptional protein that coordinates the improvement of the male undeveloped organism. In its presence, testicles create from the undeveloped balls. Assuming that it is missing, ovaries create. In the male undeveloped organism, previously during intrauterine turn of events, the testicles produce chemicals, basically testosterone, which control the improvement of male sexual attributes, the penis, scrotum, and prostate organ. Female incipient organisms don't have a Y chromosome. Be that as it may, the quality can be quiet in the male undeveloped organism, for instance, because of a change or the total shortfall of the ideal site in the Y chromosome. Assuming that this quality is missing or hormonal flagging is debilitated for another justification behind model in the androgen heartlessness condition, which was recently called Morris disorder, then, at that point, female privates are shaped, in any event, when the individual has XY sex chromosomes. The importance of estrogen and estradiol. During pregnancy, all incipient organisms, no matter what their chromosomal sex, are presented to estradiol from the mother's placenta. The creating mind of the undeveloped organism kills its impact with the assistance of alpha-fetoprotein, which ties to estradiol in the blood and keeps it from entering the blood-cerebrum hindrance. Conversely, testosterone created in the male undeveloped organism isn't bound to AFP and can uninhibitedly enter the mind. In the cerebrum, testosterone aromatizes into estradiol and, strangely, structures the male-designed districts of the undeveloped organism's mind. For instance, the preoptic locale in the nerve center, which controls male sexual way of behaving, is bigger in guys than in females. Men with low estrogen levels have more elevated levels of inside stomach fat, which is known to expand the gamble of cardiovascular infection, diabetes, and metabolic disorder. Moreover, men with estrogen inadequacy have decreased bone strength and an expanded gamble of bone breaks, falling outside the normal estradiol range. Numbers don't recount the entire story. On the off chance that you're encountering the side effects of low estradiol, yet your numbers don't coordinate, you might in any case be a contender for chemical substitution treatment. Very much like testosterone and different chemicals, a level is as it were low in the event that you're encountering side effects. Likewise, there are men who fall outside the reach who by and by are asymptomatic. Everything relies upon you and your body. On the off chance that you're encountering side effects, you'll need to get a blood test to see unequivocally what's happening. It's conceivable your levels won't fall outside the ordinary reach, which might demonstrate something different is causing your side effects. Symptoms of low estrogen in men. Following are the symptoms of low estrogen in men: fatigue, anxiety, irritability, depression, forgetfulness, oversleeping or sleeping too often, sexual dysfunction, water retention, bone loss, fat accumulation. A large portion of these, particularly the side effects connected with how you feel consistently, could show up on a rundown of either low testosterone or low estrogen side effects. These are just side effects of generally speaking chemical unevenness. To sum up, you can have low testosterone without help from anyone else, or low estrogen without anyone else, yet frequently they remain closely connected. The side effects are practically the same. and that implies that it's inordinately difficult to figure out which chemical is deficient without legitimate blood testing. Treatment for low estrogen in men. If you somehow happen to encounter low estrogen alongside low testosterone, as well as recommending testosterone treatment, we could likewise endorse some type of estrogen, as a rule as a gel or a cream. Dissimilar to testosterone, we maintain that estrogen should be bioidentical to guarantee it works appropriately. For men, it is uncommon to find low estrogen levels except if that individual is going through some sort of treatment to straightforwardly diminish estradiol. Causes of high estrogen in men. In the setting of testosterone substitution treatment, we are substantially more prone to manage expanded estradiol levels, called hyperestrogenism. There are many justifications for why your body might be delivering a lot of estrogen. For example, assuming you experience the ill effects of weight, your overabundant fat can really begin delivering extra estrogen past what your body as of now creates. While we periodically see raised estrogen levels before beginning treatment for low T, this is most frequently an issue that emerges in view of higher testosterone levels accomplished as the consequence of TRT that is drilled inappropriately, including the accompanying unfortunate practices. Your chemical levels are not being routinely or painstakingly estimated. You're not getting an aromatase inhibitor at proper levels. Your clinical supplier isn't very cautious about their techniques. In these cases, a large part of the additional testosterone being brought into your body can be changed over into abundance estradiol. Some final thoughts. Estrogen assumes a crucial part in the male body. In addition to other things, it's answerable for regulating moxie, erectile strength, and bone mineral thickness. Homeostasis is a finely tuned arrangement of governing rules. Thus, assuming you're pursuing lab numbers in the wake of having learned about it on some web-based gathering, you're doing yourself no decent. Assuming one person feels better at X level doesn't be guaranteed to mean you will as well. It's tied in with tracking down your ideal levels. Not certain regardless of whether your chemical levels are adjusted. Go to a specialist and get assessed. The person in question will then request that you go through estrogen testing. This blood test can gauge 3 sorts of estrogen: estrone, estradiol, and estriol. The sort you'll be tried for will rely upon your side effects, after which you'll be endorsed for the most appropriate treatment plan for your circumstance. Blood work is basic in assessing your reaction to treatment. Be that as it may, recollect, with testosterone substitution treatment, how you feel is principle, and lab numbers are optional. Like and subscribe to the channel. Also must click on the bell icon.